In this video, we're going to go over my brand new high risk, high reward investment portfolio. I just created a brand new investment account to invest in high risk speculative companies. These are the stocks and the SPACs that have the potential to 5 or 10x your initial investment, but also come along with a lot of downside risk. This is a brand new portfolio where on this channel, we're going to track the progress and try to grow it from the $1,000 initial value up to $5, $10 plus $1,000 down the road. This is a very new investing strategy for myself, and for those of you who are subscribed to the channel and have been following along over the past few months and years, you can know that I'm a very safe, conservative investor. My personal and main investing philosophy is to buy solid blue chip dividend paying companies that grow that dividend payment each and every year. And you can see my main portfolio is my financial freedom portfolio sitting at a value of over $75,000, which is all made up of blue chip dividend paying companies that pay out a dividend that is growing out each and every year. But because I'm young, people do not like my investment philosophy. They believe I take more risk because I have a very long investment timeline. But I don't agree with that. I'm not changing my main investment philosophy, but I have created a new portfolio where I am going to allocate a small percentage of my cash balance into each and every week and into every month to go over and invest in some higher risk companies that do have that strong upside momentum and potential to see some insane capital gains. So this is a new portfolio. We're going to discuss many different young companies that can be part of this portfolio each and every week on this channel. So please hit the like button, subscribe for daily videos about the stock market, and hit that subscribe button to see future videos about my main dividend growth portfolio. And of course, this brand new high risk, high reward portfolio. And of course, because we make daily videos about the market, going over different stocks you can buy and sell and any major stock market news and headlines. So please hit that like button. And if you want to get 4 free stocks from Webull, check out the link in my description, sign up, and once you deposit $100, you will receive a total of 4 free stocks worth up to $1,600 in value. So this is a brand new investment account, and in this video today, we're going to go over the 4 purchases I have made and take a look at some future companies that I may add over the next few weeks and over the next few months down the road. And what I plan to do with this portfolio is to make either weekly or bi-weekly updates, going over all the different buys and sells, and in main videos where I discuss new speculative companies, I'm going to share if I'm going to purchase them for this portfolio, and you'll be very up to date with every single buy and sell. And leave a comment down below of any companies you want me to check out, or any speculative plays that you think might be a nice addition in this portfolio and have the potential to see some massive growth. But one thing I want to point out before we deep dive into my 4 initial positions was the name of my portfolio. You can see I named it High Risk, High Reward ? And of course, you have to understand that with these high risk investments, the high risk is guaranteed when you buy, but the high reward is not. A lot of people like to talk and focus on the potential upside, but ignore the downside risk. And as you know, my real conservative investment philosophy really makes me aware of that downside potential, and that is why I'm not starting off this new investment strategy with a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 initial investment. I'm going to start off small, and if we are finding success in this portfolio, I have no problem contributing extra capital to only accelerate the growth of this if it is going very successfully. Now we're going to get started and go over the 4 holdings in this new portfolio. You can see it sits at a value at $1,001.88, and my total gain is that $1.88 from this portfolio. And so far, I have invested around $600 of my initial investment and still have $390 sitting in cash in this portfolio for future holdings I pick up over the next week or over the next few weeks down the road. And the 4 companies I have purchased already are NEO, Virgin Galactic, and 2 SPACs. DMYD and BFT are blank check companies that have announced mergers with a company called Genius Sports and PaySafe. And these are 2 SPACs that I believe have some strong upside potential. Both are trading at $13 per share right now, so I think they still have a lot of room to grow post-merger, which are both expected to close in early 2021. So now we're going to go over each of these companies and just discuss a little bit about them, what they plan to do, and my thoughts on why I picked them for this young portfolio. The first one is NEO. We all know them, the Chinese EV company, which has absolutely exploded this year, and shares are up 1,882% on the 12-month chart, which is absolutely incredible. They currently have a market cap close to $60 billion, and they are one of the main EV players within China that has plans to expand across other continents. And if you take a look though at their 1-month chart, shares have actually seen a pullback with a lot of volatility, down 18% over the past few weeks. So I thought this was a nice time to jump in and make this purchase. I like that I got in on an 18% decline, especially when you take a look at how fast this company's been growing. And this is really the first major pullback they've seen away from the all-time high at around $55 per share. I still think NIO has a lot of upside, and in the month of November, they just announced record-breaking deliveries for their vehicles. In total, they delivered over 5,200 vehicles in the month of November, representing a 109% year-over-year growth. And in total, they've delivered over 36,000 vehicles in 2020, representing a 111% year-over-year growth from the same time period in 2019. So it just shows that they are posting record delivery numbers. Their battery as a swap service I've talked about many times on this channel, and I really think this is one of the main EV players that can succeed over a long term, and I think the share price still has a lot of upside momentum moving forward. So NIO was the first company I bought in this portfolio. I purchased 4 shares at around that $45 price point, and my current market value for this is around $180. So of course, compared to my main portfolio, where I have thousands and thousands of dollars in each holding, this is a very low position, but overall, it is the largest and my first buy in this high-risk portfolio. The second company I bought was ticker SPCE, which of course is Virgin Galactic, the only really space tourism company publicly traded on the market right now. So space, $32 per share, is up 280% this year, and you can see this is a very volatile company. They saw a massive surge earlier this year with a major pullback. And throughout the past few months, a lot of ups and downs, but they were somewhat flat, but have seen a really rapid surge over the past few weeks. They have a market cap at around $7 billion, and they just announced a test flight that is going to help them prepare for their commercial service. The test flight is expected for this week, and this will be a test flight that gathers data for the final 2 FAA verification and validation milestones. This is a big deal for Virgin Galactic. They need to get their test flights underway, get them fully completed in order to have that commercial spaceflight approval, which I believe will be a major growth aspect for the business. And once they can actually get commercial flights going over the next few years, I think the share price is only going to skyrocket. Of course, the price to get a flight into space does cost around $250,000, so it is really only for the top 1% of people in this world, but I still think that's going to bring in a ton of top-line revenue, and once this company eventually earns a profit many years down the road, I think the share price is going to be much higher than where it sits today. And one thing about this industry and the space tourism industry is that there are extremely high barriers to entry, and there's not a lot of competitors to Virgin Galactic in this field. Right now, there aren't really any direct competitors focused on tourism, but down the road, companies like Tesla and SpaceX, and Jeff Bezos has an interest in the space world as well. So there are going to be some competition, but not a lot. I don't think there's going to be that many to actually knock Virgin Galactic out of a market leader position. And I think overall, this company is going to be in a very innovative brand that's only going to dominate moving forward, and I don't see any young new companies ever competing with the infrastructure they have already set up. So for Virgin Galactic, I purchased 5 shares in this portfolio for around $32. My total market value sits at $161 and is the second largest holding. Moving on to number 3, we have ticker DMYD, which is a blank check company that plans to merge with Genius Sports. This past week, the merger was announced and shares of this blank check SPAC are up more than 28%. Genius Sports merging with DMYD in a $1.5 billion deal. This is one of the best SPACs on the market right now that has a lot of growth potential. They are the middleman in the ever fast growing sports gambling world, and even in the year 2020, when sports were essentially shut down, they have posted some record-breaking numbers. So what this company does is they are a middleman in the sports gambling website world between the actual live sporting events and the online digital gambling platforms. They sit in the middle of this cycle, and I made a full video going into Genius Sports and this high growth SPAC on my channel, so take a look at that if you want to get full in-depth analysis on this company. So essentially what this company does is they have official rights from major sports leagues all around the world to collect data from the live sporting events. They use their technology to kind of summarize and make it more usable, and they pass that data on to live gambling sports books. And you can see this is a cycle. As sports gambling grows in demand, there'll be an increased need for Genius Sports and their technology, And because there's low churn and there's a lot of sticky relationships in this industry, they will be one of the main players that continues to grow as the cycle continues. And they already have partnerships with some of the major sports brands in North America and Europe, such as the NBA, NCAA, and PGA Tour. Then they have the international FIFA brand and some of the top sports leagues within Europe, such as the English Premier League, Bundesliga, and main Italian soccer league, Serie A. And overall, they still have partnerships right now with some of the largest gambling websites as well, such as DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365, and that's where they generate 74% of their revenue. They also have partnerships and have a media revenue portion making up 15% of the total top line. So a very interesting SPAC. I made a full video going into them and describing what this company does and their future growth projections, but I think they have a lot of potential. I made my purchase of 10 shares at around that $13 range, and the last company I hold in this portfolio is the SPAC BFT, which is merging with the company Paysafe. Since this merger was announced, shares are up 22% and sit at $13.45. So Paysafe has announced a merger to go public with BFT, and the company is now valued at around $9 billion. So Paysafe is another young company operating within the financial tech sector. They have a Paysafe eCash platform, digital wallets, and different integrated processing, and they are overall focused on the digitization of cash, a prepaid solution, of course, in the gaming industry, as well as the mobile gambling industry, similar to where Genius Sports operates. And you can see some of their major partners, such as DraftKings and Bet365, are major players in Genius Sports as well. I am personally very bullish on the online gambling and sports gambling market because right now, only a small portion of the total United States have it legalized. I think as it continues to grow and becomes fully legal across all of the states, I think those companies are only going to see tremendous and record-breaking growth, and these are some main players integrated within that industry. So if you take a look, they believe they have strong opportunity for growth, and they believe, of course this is their investor presentation, that they are a compelling investment opportunity. So right now they have $103 billion in expected transactional volume for 2021, with around $1.5 billion in organic revenue over the next calendar year. And for many years down the road, over the next 3 years, they're expecting 11% organic revenue growth with a high profitable model, expecting around 30% EBITDA on the path to get that to plus 35% many years down the road. And overall, they believe they have strong cash conversion, assets like businesses models that does not require significant capex or balance sheet requirements. Of course, the type of software company, not a lot of fixed assets needed to grow Paysafe. So those were the 4 companies. We kind of took a little quick overview of them. I have videos on my channel going all of them in more depth. So take a look, scroll through my videos if you want to learn a lot more about each company individually. So thank you for watching. This was kind of the first initial update on this portfolio. Like I said, I'm going to make weekly or bi-weekly updates going over all my different purchases, and always feel free on any video to leave me a comment down below in the description on different SPACs you want me to take a look at. I'll share my thoughts of them on the channel, make them in a video, and discuss if I will be purchasing them or not for this portfolio, and hopefully we can see this grow. I do plan on adding a little bit more capital for the initial bump up, but hopefully over the next few weeks, few months, and few years, this can actually be a long-term sustainable growth factor for my overall net worth and my overall investment portfolio and all my holdings in total. And I think it will be a nice little addition and a new model to help the channel grow and my capital grow as well. So thank you for watching. See you in tomorrow's video.